Hello YouTube, this is my first video I put up on here. It's in response to Ringo Simpkins' Christmas painting bash that he's doing to get over the hassle and argy-bargy of Christmas. So I thought, oh, that sounds like my cup of tea. That I've been watching everyone's videos for, well, probably a couple of years now. So I thought, you lazy git, it's about time you did a video yourself and show people what I've got on my painting desk, or what I get up to on my painting desk anyway. So I'll run through what I'm doing at the moment, and then a little bit of what I have done, and then in future videos I'll show you some of the other things that I've done Napoleonic wise. So if you just hang on a second and get some figures on the screen for you to have a look at. Right guys, first of all I apologise if the quality of the video isn't that good. I'm not that technically minded. This is my daughter's iPad which I'm recording this on, so I have to thank my daughter Georgia for letting me use her iPad, and she showed me how to control it. So if it's rubbish, then it's my fault. So first off, what I am working on at the moment is a regiment of French Hussars. These are elite miniatures. I'll show you the ones that I've got done already. Excuse my little mitts. These are the I've got 4 squadrons to do. I've completed 2 squadrons already, and I have another 2 squadrons to do. This is the first squadron that I painted. Like I say, they're elite miniatures. Now I know they're not as detailed as the parent miniatures, and perhaps they're not as the sculpts aren't as, perfectly formed as the Perrys are, but I love them. I think they've got a lot of movement in them, and to me, I love them. And what I've done on these is they come in 2 basic poses. You've got the guy with the sword at rest, and one guy with the sword at the charge. And what I've done on a lot of these is I've altered the arms. I've taken the arms off, put in bits of paperclip, green puttied over the top, and then refixed the sword to the end of the arm. So there's a bit of variation in the poses. As you can see, the officer is sort of leaning back, and I changed the legs on the horse so the horse is rearing up. So it looks like he's just taken one for the Emperor. So that's the first squadron. The second squadron, again, much the same, and again, a bit more conversion work done on the actual arms. You've got your standard poses in there, the guys at the rest, but this guy here is my finger. He's more or less how the standard charging figure comes. So you can see the guy on that's here, I've twisted the head and altered the arm on that one, again just to give it a little bit more interest. And on the officer, you can't see it too well, but I sculpted one of those red Moroccan leather cartouche belts that the French officers seem to love to splash out on stuff, daubed in gold lace and what have you. So yeah, you'll notice as well, I subscribed to the old school style of painting. As a kid, I was deeply touched by Mr. Peter Gilder's Battleground TV series, which was presented by Edward Woodward, and I absolutely loved it. And I also watched the film Callum with Edward Woodward, loads of Napoleonic figures, wargaming in that. So when I was a kid, I promised myself one day that's what I want. When miniature war games came out in the early 80s, I was still at school, but again, Mr. Gilder's work, superb, and I've more or less tried to read everything that he's written on wargaming. I just wish I'd had the chance to go and visit him in his War Games Holiday Centre and game with his stuff in his presence. It would have been superb. But carrying on his good work and his name, his ideas, and I know there's a lot of other gamers out there that like his old glossy style of stuff, and I do I think it brings the colours out. I think the acrylics really did come out well, but not everyone's cup of tea. But you know, I love them. Them they're my little men. That's those. So those are the 2 complete squadrons I've got. The 3rd squadron I'm working on at the moment is the Elite Squadron. I have 3 of them completed, not yet based up. There's the officer there, and you notice these guys are wearing the coal pack, Busby, if you want a British way of saying it. Again, painted up as 9th Hussars. Again, I probably hammed it up with the colours a little bit. I know the red and blue, I've seen them in these colours, but I've seen them in darker as well. But to me, on a war games table, you want your figures to stand out a bit and have a bit of bravado and a bit of, you know, oomph about them. So this was a good regiment to do. Resculpted the plumes because the metal ones were mostly broken off. So it's literally a piece of paper clip drilled and glued into the coal pack with some green stuff modelled over the top. Quite easy to do. Same with the tail, had to be repinned on, that had broken off. So again, drawing pin, super glue, boom, done. Horse painted in on mixture of oils and acrylics, and the figures are all painted in acrylics. As I use Winsor & Newton. Is it Rowney? I'll tell you what it is. It's the Dale Rowney soluble gloss varnish. Is what I use to varnish the figures. So that's the officer. Trooper. There we go. Again, much the same as the other Zars, except the addition of the coal pack again. And finally, quite pleased with this one. I rather like this one. The trumpeter. And his little white, you know, a white horse. They usually had greys, trumpeters to distinguish them, and the reverse colours of the troopers' uniforms. And I actually did some research on this uniform, and there were from 15 different sources. There were different colours for this particular regiment from various points. So I took the one which I liked the most, basically. So if there's anyone who says, "Oh, that's not right in 1812 or 18," yeah, I understand, but you know, this is how I want them looking on the battlefield. I'm quite pleased with them. I do like them. Like I say, they're metal as well, so got a bit of weight to them, but I do like them. Right, the stuff that I'm working on at the moment for Ringo's Advent painting mash. Again, Elite Squadron. This guy started off life as one of these. This is the standard casting. There he is, Trooper at rest. So I've already started painting these. Originally I had these. I painted them up with 2nd Hussars, brown Police and blue dolman, the jacket, and breeches. It was more for Spain really, for the Peninsula, but not a very exciting colour uniform. So from that figure, I carved the arm off, took the head off completely, and I wanted to do a figure with a bonnet de police. And this is the first face I've ever sculpted, first head I've ever resculpted. It's a little bit big, but I'm quite pleased with it. I really am quite pleased with it. The bonnet de police, I hated it. He looked like something from the Ku Klux Klan when I first did him, but once now it's painted up, I'm reasonably pleased with it. And there's a few things next time I'll do differently, but I've already started to add some of the new uniform colours to him, but I've mainly been working on the head and face. I resculpted the arm on this one. The arm again, I used the wrong sort of wire for the arm. Couldn't really bend it that well, but I wanted to have the sabre up in the air. Elite do packs with the sabres raised, but I just didn't need to buy too many figures. You know, you end up with a load of excess figures otherwise. So I just thought, I'll have a go at resculpting. So that is that one. That's the work in progress. That's what I'm working on at the moment. And the last one that I'm working on, again, same as the standard figure at rest. I've taken his arm off completely, resculpted the plume on his coal pack, and sculpted a new arm on there. Again, it's literally, you can use a paper clip if you like. I've got some brass rod, which is quite bendable. Drill a hole into where the shoulder is, drill a hole, then fix some brass wiring, cut it to length, I kept the sword hand and the sword. They're pinned and drilled onto the end of the wire, and then literally just daub it, get the green stuff on, and build it up with that. And because the style of the sculpting that Pete Marbury does on these, it's quite easy to make it, you know, blend in. So when he's fully painted and redone, he'll mix in nicely with the squadron. So that'll be the complete squadron of 6. So I'm going to leave you now with a parting shot of the finished hussars that I've done already, and speaking to you soon. Bye.